Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Friday, May 22nd. Memorial Day is here, and we got a half a day on Monday. So I'm not going to open the room on Monday at all. So back on Tuesday again, but today's a regular close. Probably going to be lightening up at the end of the day. But it's 3-day weekend. Memorial Day is on a Monday. Now, news for today, we got a little bit of stuff going on. Nothing at 8:30. At 10 o'clock, we get consumer sentiment and leading indicators. And that's about it. So I would expect the market to start slowing down pretty good after the London close. Pretty much people bailing out for a long weekend. That, or we get some action going because there's something happening in these negotiations with the Iranians. We'll find out. It's hard to see what's going on with that. It defies common sense, some stuff you see. But then again, you don't have all the information, so you just have to kind of wait and see how the things shake out and make your judgment after you know a little bit more about it. Right now, though, the market is holding on to their gains. They retraced pretty good yesterday, and they were back up again. Our Nvidia earnings report on the Wednesday did not derail everything on Thursday, so that was good. Nvidia is still just kind of flat though. It hasn't rallied, hasn't sold. They sold off a little bit, but not by any means in any bad way. So I would not be too worried about. I mean, I thought there's going to be a lot more on the negative side, but pretty flat reaction. So it just sets the stage for potential moving higher. So we are in a spot where we are up against the highs again. Market is liking it. And we have taken out the key area, the 7460s, and I would stay on the long side at least to get started this morning. So you have to see if they can take this higher. So you can get one or two things happening this morning. They could be like this overnight gets absolutely hammered, right, knocked right back down again, in which case we let's go back range bound, or they hold this level, the 7460s, and we will be in a spot where we potentially can trade higher, maybe go sideways for a bit, but potentially run up here and retest the highs, or maybe even get a rally on our hands. Who knows? Maybe a Memorial Day rally is in the works. I think it's a little bit too much to hope for a big rally given the potential for kinetic action in the Middle East again. We'll see how that shakes out. If anything happens, it's probably going to happen after the close. When the markets are closed, usually what they try to do to avoid the crazy whipsaws in the market. But it doesn't sound like they have anything going on there. So we'll find out. But that's the big curveball, I think, for the weekend. So initially, I'm going to be looking to buy against. Come on, there you go. Do this. I'm going to be looking to buy against weakness, and the levels we're looking at here right now is going to be support at 74.65s, the 55s for rotations back up. Below the 55s, we're going to take off the long bias and go back range bound. And on the way up, I don't know why I did that. Let's see, make this big again. Sometimes I don't click too much. Anyway, so the looking to buy against that 74.65s, the 55s for rotations up. Below the 55s, take off the long bias, go back range bound. We are back in that lower range again. If they start trading higher, looking for short setups against that 74.95, 75.10s, 75.25, and 75.35s for rotations down. A little bit less aggressive on those if they are trading up here. Because if they're grinding this higher, we are basically back up here retesting the highs. I think the better short may come against that mode here at the 75.25s. That's kind of the area I would key in on. That one and the 35s if I'm going to be looking for a retest failure against the highs here. But so not going to be super aggressive on the short side. We'll see how it develops. And then we're looking to buy weakness for rotations up is kind of the dynamic I'm looking for. If they back off below the 55s, we are back range bound. Still looking to buy against the 40s, the 25s, the 10s, down here to the 7400s for rotations up. And we got a little bit of ways to go. So we are, the mode on that F1 is at 74.15 All right, so that's kind of the attractor. If they start heading lower, chances are they're going to run down to run about the 74.10 to 15 here and stop. So that's kind of the dynamic. That's what I'm thinking is on tap, or I think it potentially could be on tap. Market so far, a little pop going on. Nasdaq, that's the one we just kind of been driving things. They're also way up here above that the 460 500 level, and they're ready to go back at it. Maybe try retest these highs. Maybe retest the high here at 770. On the Nasdaq, I'm going to be looking to buy weakness the same as the ES against the 430s, 380s, 330s for rotation stuff, maybe even down to the 290s, giving a bit more room on the Nasdaq, given that it's so freaking volatile. But if they have down here below the 420s, you're technically below it. You see that nice ledge here at the 370, 380s. So these two areas are key. They came out. I'm going to start taking off the long bias. I'll give it a little bit more room on that one. If they're going to be crazy and probe it all the way down here to the 320s, but these two are the key support areas, the 430s and the 380s for rotations up again. And if they do push lower, still looking to buy against these areas just because Nasdaq tend to do these fake outs on the downside. So 320s and the 290s as well. But below those two, definitely not gonna. I don't think we're recovering from there. not in the short term at least. So there we have it, and then looking for shorts against the upper area, so against the 600s, 29 670s, 730s up to the 770s, 780s here for rotations back down again. Again, not going to be very aggressive on the short side. If anything, I take the short trades, whether you have a little rally, the stall, the retest, the fail, the retest. Usually you get a little pullback there, which is the kind of short you're looking for in a day like this. If you're looking for a bigger trade, you're looking to buy weakness for rotations back up again. That's why we have the ES and the Nasdaq, both of them. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Guess something happened. Have we got a piece of news come out somewhere? It looks like a pretty good move to the upside. Bond market also moved with that. That's an interesting one. Probably Iranian news. And you can see here we are popping above 11/16s. So yeah, there's probably something to do with the Iranian situation. So looking to buy weakness against the 14s, the 8s, the 11s for rotations back up. And below 11s, I would be taking off that long bias going back range bound. So that's pretty straightforward on the bonds. And on the bond market, you can see on that capital flow here, we've been all the way down here to the 109/16s here. It's a good probe to the downside. Finally, looks like we are heading back up again. But we only kind of reverse retesting the lows here. So if that holds, that could be a nice short setup for rotations back down again. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that thing with the Iranian situation. That's if that comes out to be a deal, a lot of people are going to be very skeptical that the Iranians are going to do anything to live up to that deal. But again, it's all about what's in the deal, right? So it looks to me like there's probably some movement in that area. But starting in the bond market from the long side, let's see how far they want to take it, and there you have it. Crypto-wise, you can see oil is heading lower. That's also a nice sign that we may have something going on there on the crypto side of things. Oil and gold, silver and gold, is not doing much, just flopping back and forth. Oil, however, you can see start taking it lower down to 96. This matches the CL contract as well. So definitely something is pushed oil down a bit. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm not haven't traded anything on the cryptos in overnight either, so we'll see how that shakes out. Back to the ES and the Nasdaq. Back over here, and yeah, big move, and then okay, reversal a little bit. So something happened, some news event happened here, so worth paying attention to. Alrighty, guys, but I'll wrap it here for now. So Memorial Day, Friday, or Memorial Day weekend. Friday trading. Let's see how let's see what happens. I'm going to be trading it with some caution today, that's for sure. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update. Later.